अस्पष्टता आहे. एक बेहतरीन अभिनेता और साथ ही इंसान जो है जिन्होंने अपने हर टीवी इंडस्ट्री हो या चाहे वो बॉलीवुड इंडस्ट्री हो पूरे सबको परिवार की तरह संभाला इतना ही नहीं पर इतना तक कहा जा रहा था कि उनकी सिक्योरिटी हो या फिर उनके सिक्योरिटी हो या उनके घर पर उनके असिस्टेंट हो या उनके शेफ हो या उनके हेल्पर हो उन सभी का ध्यान जो है वो सुशांत सिंह राजपूत हमेशा रखते आ रहे थे उनको परिवार की तरह उन्होंने संभाला था क्योंकि उनका यहाँ पर परिवार नहीं रहता था उसी को देखते हुए और जो उनके साथ रह रहे थे उन्हीं को उन्होंने अपना परिवार मानकर आगे चलते रहे तो इस तरीके की शख्सियत सुशांत सिंह थे उनका सुसाइड
Hello, good evening. So on behalf of Sri Ramakrishna Engineering College, we welcome you, we welcome the resource person, Dr. O.A. Balasubramaniam sir. On behalf of the principal, on behalf of the head of the department, and on behalf of the organizing committee, I welcome the resource person for today, Dr. O.A. Balasubramaniam. I also deem it pleasure in inviting all the participants to the webinar. So let me introduce the chief guest of today's event. Dr. O.A. Balasubramaniam sir has a rich experience as Senior Vice President, Roots Group of Companies. He is also the Director of Integral Yoga Institute. He is also the CEO of Roots Polycast and Managing Director for Root Cast Private Limited. He has undergone his bachelor's degree in botany with botany as major and zoology and chemistry as ancillary subjects. He has completed MBA Corporate Finance from PhD College of Technology, and he has completed his Masters of Science, MS Systems and Information, specialization in System Design and Analysis. He has completed his PhD in supply chain management from Anna University. He has a rich volunteering experience. He has been the past chairman, Coimbatore chapter, Computer Society of India. He has been the chairman, Coimbatore chapter, Indian Plastic Institute, Science and Technology. He has been the co-chairman, IT panel, Coimbatore, Confederation of Indian Industry. He has been the past president of Coimbatore Management. And I once again joined the organizing committee in becoming the chief guest of today's webinar series. And the session is all yours, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening, all of you. My voice is okay? Hello? 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 Are you able to hear me? Hello?
Sir.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. My voice is okay? Hello?
Sir, it's okay.
Sir, it's okay. Yes, sir.
Daddy.
Okay. Hello?
भी आएगा, कैटरपिलर भी आएगा, डॉल भी आएगी, चीज़र भी आएगा, टॉम भी आएगा, सब आएंगे.
Hello? Ramakrishna team? Hello?
क्या बोल रही?
Hello? Hello? Are you able to hear me?
Sir.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, fine.
Yeah. At least one of you can unmute and you can give the response. Somebody from Ramakrishna, is it okay?
Yeah, it's
It
okay.
is fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. May I know who is on the line, please? Who will be interacting with me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. May I know who is on the line, please?
Sir, I am Satish Kumar, sir.
Okay. You will be interacting, isn't it? Is there
Yes,
any
sir.
feedback?
Yeah. All the participants will be muted because they will be listening your lecture. So there
Yeah,
will be
I
no-
understand. See, only
Yes, sir.
one person. I require only one person just to get
Yes, sir.
the
Yes,
feedback.
sir.
Yeah. Is it okay?
Yeah. I am here, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Satish Kumar.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
You're
you.
from
Thank you.
Ramakrishna, isn't it?
Yeah, correct, sir. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. The screen is visible, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening, all of you. I thank Ramakrishna and Dr. Mr. Satish Kumar for giving this opportunity to interact with you on a very important topic, digital disruption. As a mankind, we are living this Mother Earth for thousands and thousands of years. We have been inventing technology from the inception. But if you see the changes whatever is happening in the past, say 1 century, it is very heavy. We are witness to it. Uh, and business houses also, we are seeing a lot of changes. Recently, the business is has seen two era. One is uh, the digital era. The other one is industrial revolution era. The industrial revolution it happened in 1950s, and it was confined to only Western countries. We never participated, so we didn't gain anything out of that. But whereas the digital era, the recently happened IT era, it is a very huge, and everybody participated. India also participated. We also gained a lot in this era. So recently, if you see, within a decade, the digital revolution had changed all companies, whether it is a small company or a medium company or larger companies. It had changed a lot, and normally the big companies will destroy the small companies and for survival. But the digital had helped even the smaller companies also to play in the same platform simultaneously with the bigger companies. So digital disruption is nothing but a change in the digital era, and it is very helpful in the business community. I want to share some of the technology, though there are many technologies are available in the digital era as a digital disruption. I want to cover a few technologies which is very hot and which is very useful for business houses. So, just a minute. Somebody raised the hand. Kindly, if you have any issues, please stop me anytime. So I'm going to share some of the technologies which will be interesting to you, which is very useful for the current scenario. So I think you will be seeing my slide. The average company span of top 500 companies, S&P 500 index. This is a Standard & Poor. You would have heard about this company. So if you see in 1960s, the lifespan of any company was, or average is was around 60 plus. Gradually it came down and slightly up in 1975-80 it was 35. During 95 to say 2000, around 2000 it was went up to 25 years. But if you see year on year, the average company life span is coming down. It is almost by 2020 it is 20 years, almost less than 20 years it is coming. It is threefold. It has reduced in the last about 50, 60 years. That is the scenario. So when this is happening, yesterday's skills, whatever we have learned, are not enough to survive in today's digital world. That is a very important point. This is the quote given by Mr. Priyarinathan. He is the CEO of Accenture. Digital is the main reason just over half of the companies on the Fortune 500 have disappeared since year 2000. So everyone is admitting that because of the digital disruption, most of the companies, even big companies, are getting disappeared. Unless you follow the digital path, you will not be there. So another stat shows that is Credit Suisse. Some of you heard about this company. It is a credit rating company. It is telling that 52% of business have disappeared in the last 15 years. So if you see in the cost of starting a new business is not high. It is not heavy. It is almost 0.1%, not even 1%. It is 0.1% of what it used to be in 2000, just 20 years. Think about this. Within 20 years, the cost starting a business is almost nothing. Money is available, resource, everything is available. What is the difference? It indicates a lot of thinking actually. I'm showing one picture. It is a Flatiron building, Fifth Avenue, New York. It was taken during 1905. It is a very famous building, Flatiron building. Still it is there actually. I show two more pictures to understand more. There is a reason behind in showing this picture. This is the picture taken during 1940. You might see in, I'll go to the back, go back to the older slide. So in this picture, you can see bullock carts, horse riding, everything is there actually. But here you can see a lot of automobiles. There is no cart, there is no horse. So only automobile. Today, still the building is there. So Flatiron building at New York. It is recently taken one. What is the difference? One difference is it is looking in color. That is not the important one. Almost cars are there, lights, everything is there. But today, the invisible thing is the connectivity. The connectivity between different buildings, different people, different places, all things. This is very important one. Yeah, just a minute. So today, nothing but connectivity makes the whole thing totally different. I want to give one more example about the communication. In those days, Pony Express, there is a company in US, California. They want to hire people because in those days communication was only by horse riders, pony riders, horse riders. So you can see young, skinny, wiry fellows not over 18 must be expert riders willing to risk death daily. That's what they are advertising those days actually. So wages is $25 per week. Those days it was very big money. So that was the level of communication what we were having just beginning of the previous century. But what is today is totally different. Sitting anywhere from the world, you are all hearing this presentation. That is a kind of communication development we have seen it. That is a great digital disruption we have seen it actually. And let me touch upon the industrial revolution also. For industrial revolution, I was telling about industrial revolution. I want to touch upon this. First revolution is mechanization, mostly through water power, steam power. The mechanization were happening actually. The second industrial revolution was through mass production, through assembly line, and electricity was used at the time. Second revolution. I can remember the quote given by Henry Ford. Ford motors were very good in mass production, assembly line, and Ford assembly line technology was very popular for a very long time. The Henry Ford, during the time he was telling that he will make only one color of car, only black color of car they will be making because of the production optimization, mass production. So they were able to give good product for a cheaper price. So I was able to remember the wordings. They were adamant and they are so sure that mass production will take a major cost saving and they will become number one those days actually. That's what the mantra. So still I'm able to remember the quote. He was not willing to give other than black, no other color. I can take any color as long as it is black. That was adamant statement given by Henry Ford. But today you can see a lot of changes while the car itself is happening. Customized cars are available. So that is a second revolution. Third revolution is computers, automation. We have already seen it actually. But today it is a fourth revolution, cyber physical systems. This is the every cyber system is connected to the other cyber system and human. So that is what it is happening. And it is the fourth revolution, what we are talking about that. And so that is what called as Industry 4.0. And what in nutshell Industry 4.0 is doing is, it is transforming every organization, every plant into a smart factory. That is what it is happening actually. So let me talk about one such digital revolution, IoT. Everybody would have heard this word IoT, Internet of Things. Let me also touch upon this very important one. We have implemented a few IoT projects at Roots. For example, all of you might be knowing that IoT is nothing but Internet of Things. It is no longer buzzword. It is a reality, and it is connecting everything. So Internet is nothing but a network of networks. It's primarily connecting between people. But Internet of Thing is totally different. Internet of Thing is connection between the things. So what are the things? Things are nothing but all the machineries in the organization, vehicles, smart buildings, equipment, computer, smart refrigerator, say medical devices, energy meters, etc., etc. So all things are digitally enabled and it is being connected. That IoT is doing actually. So let me give a small example what we have adapted in our own foundry, in a die casting foundry. We are having different divisions. We are having a horn making division, automotive division, cleaning machine division, die casting division, plastic injection molding division. Many divisions we are having. I'd like to give a small example which we have done it at our die casting foundry. Normally, people feel that foundry is not a best place for doing automation, but we have done it and we want to show this simple example to everyone if you understand. Normally, in die casting, the defects are like the die casted components, aluminum die casted components will be mostly with the flash and blowholes will be available, gas porosity will be available, shrinkage, unfilling, bending, crack, warpage. These are the some of the problems day to day every one of us will be facing in a die casting actually. So we have started the IoT process to minimize these problems. So we have used pressure transducers, temperature controller, velocity sensor, electronic timers in the old machines. These machines are 30 years, 35 years, 40 years old machines. So unlike current machines, they were not having digital meters, all those things. So we have put these controllers, sensors and timers and transducers into the machine, and we made the physical machines digitally enabled, and we took the data from these equipment, these controllers and sensors, and through Wi-Fi we took it to the cloud, and the data we were sending it to the cloud, central storage, and from there we started analyzing the data, and we brought back the data in a small digital dashboard. Anytime, anywhere, any device, people can see that reports about the machines. What are the data we have seen? See, we can see intensification pressure, metal temperature, die temperature, high pressure, plunger velocity. These are all technical terms, which is technical parameters. It is very important for controlling the quality of the castings. For example, if you take temperature, the metal temperature should be between 640 and 680. If it goes down, you will not get proper castings. If it goes up to 680, you will lose electricity charge, you will money on the electricity, and problems will be coming on the components also. So it should be optimum between 640 and 680. So through the sensors, if it comes below 640, automatically the machine cuts off till the temperature rises. Like that, 680, if it goes beyond 680, automatically the furnace will cut off. The switch will cut off, so that electricity will not be going into the furnace. Like that, each and every parameter will be controlled through some controllers. This is what happen. It is what happening, and this is brought into a digital dashboard. So the benefit, if you see, anytime, anywhere monitoring of all the parameters, whatever I have indicated, it is possible, and it helps traceability and improves the operational efficiency, and it increases the machine availability also, because the machines will be running smoothly. We will getting the good components, so that accurate OEE in real time it is possible. Machine historical data we can take it, and accurate machine performance, online monitoring, productivity and quality will be totally increased, and better control of the machine and process. Sitting here in the office, I can see whether the machine is running or not. If it is running, what is the component running, how much quantity so far it has made. All those information we can see it through small dashboard. That is the benefit of IoT. So this is only an example I am giving. So like this, we can implement any IoT on any type of process actually. So just I'm giving a small architecture. You need not go depth into it. So what we have to do is lower side, if you see, we are having sensors like GPS, smart device, RFIDs, all those things. So with these sensors, this can be attached to the machines, and from there the data can be taken and it can come to the network. It can be a WAN, LAN, or internet, or wide area network, something like that. And from there, the data can be processed through a data center or a data mining area or a cloud, and it can be integrated with the applications like data warehousing, data mining, or some other software, so that we can see the dashboard sitting anywhere in the world in real time, whether all the parameters of the machines can be seen. Just I'm giving a small example. So that's what about IoT. The next bigger step, whatever is going to happen in the industry, is artificial intelligence. We have been using this word for a long time. Even about 20 years back itself, people were talking about artificial intelligence, but now it is getting into a shape, and you are able to see lot of development in this area. So generally, what is AI means? Get machines to think like humans. That is what we are trying to emulate through AI. We want to emulate machines to do like us. So what actually AI does is it learns, it understands, and adapts the new scenarios. That is a great advantage. Automation is different. Automation is you are automating the manual process, but the advantage in AI is it is a self-learning process. So it understands certain scenarios and it acts according to the scenario. It is not pre-programmed. Of course, it takes some data, but it can switch over between 2 or 3 scenarios and it takes the best technology. So any AI system, it learns on its own and it understands on its own and it adapts new scenarios on its own. Of course, the underlying work is by human being. But one advantage with the AI is mundane activities can be done through AI. Let me give one example. When automobile was introduced, people were very skeptical about automobiles. Before you discard your cars and buy an auto, it is well to think of the cost. Costs were very high in those days, 1920, 1915 time. So people were advertising about the cars, and there is a lot of skepticism in taking the cars than the horses. Actually, this is what the advertisement given in those days actually. But that is what going to happen AI today. So AI today we are looking as a horse, but definitely automobiles is an important one. So AI is around us. There is no doubt about that. Without knowing whether it is an AI or not, we have been using this actually. So AI is that medical diagnostics is very important one. All of us might have heard about this. Medical diagnostics in medicine, two things are very important. One, for any doctor, 50% is diagnosing and 50% is prescribing it. See, diagnosis, if it is done well, what is the disease? If you are able to diagnose properly, 50% problem is over. So AI is helping in medical diagnostics because many people's experience and expertise and knowledge is put into the machine, and the machine can think like about more than say about 2 3 doctors opinion, something like that. So AI assists medical diagnostics, and today we are talking about checkout free retail stores. If you go to foreign countries, in US and everywhere, you need not go to the counter for paying everything. It takes care of everything. And voice assistance, natural speech is very important. You would have heard about natural language speaking. One and the next one is facial recognition. All of you might have seen the computer's passcode is face itself, and see attendance is through face, and computer vision. Computer vision. So yeah, a component is made through the when it is coming through assembly line, a camera can be there and it can detect whether it is a good component or a bad component. It can reject the bad component and it can approve the good component. It is all there actually. So these are some of the examples of AI, and it is time for us to wake up. So any students, you are, I think you are ECE and other branches you are here. So you can think about taking a subject. If it is a core subject, please do it with enthusiasm, and you can take optional subject also. AI is available. You can take it and you can get a lot out of this. So today, the Deloitte survey is showing that 53% of the companies are already using machines to replace humans. The FAIR is expected to climb 72% by next 2 years. It is not 2 years, not far. It is very near. Where is 53%? Where is 72%? So it is going up. For example, in a assembly line where about 20 people are working, I am sure within 5 to 10 years, now 5 years, 10 is more too much. Within 5 years, you can see only 2 machines were there actually. Pure assembly line, I'm telling. So AI will eliminate 40% of the world jobs within 15 years. Mundane jobs. The examples are driverless cars. So it will eliminate 40% of the world's job. Secretary, so those jobs will go off. So we plan to replace 80% of the workers with robots in the next 5 to 10 years. That's what Foxconn chairman is telling. So these are some of the examples through which we can understand how AI is progressing. And every nation is in the race for AI supremacy. Even the countries like Nairobi, Kenya, they are into a lot of projects on AI, whether it is education or university sponsored programs, everything. So if you see the statistics, out of 22,000 PhD educated researchers worldwide, in AI only 386 are India. So there is a lot of scope in India for AI. Serious research work in India in the field of AI is limited to less than 50 researchers with the concentration of mostly in institutes such as IIT, IIT and IIC. So there is a lot of scope like private institutions and of course universities on AI. So India also can benefit out of this because we have to replace a lot of people actually. So today, what can be done through AI? Almost everything can be. Reading, automatic summary. You can, for example, there is a bot available, summarize bot. You can read, and there are bots available. So, for example, if you go into any online store, it lacks some questions actually. It is not actually a person sitting on the other side typing the questions or answers. It is a bot, and what it does is, based on the nature of the business, it goes inside and if there is AI engine available, it gives answers. Only when it is needed, physical person will be coming. Otherwise, AI will take care. That is the kind of bots are available, which is attached to any commercial websites everywhere. So writing, AI machine had written a novel, Won the Road. Already it is there actually. So AI, you can see the things. So that's why I was telling about the machine vision for inspection, driverless car. It is being used. So it is able to see. Hearing and understanding. AI. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Somebody else shared. It's okay. So hearing, understanding. AI meeting is, suppose any meeting is there. After the meeting, minutes of the meeting can be done not through a secretary, but a virtual secretary like hear and understand. So speak. Alexa and Google Maps already they are speaking. Small bots could identify gas leaks. There are a lot of small gadgets available. Touching. Robots in supermarket can pick up ripe strawberries and they can put it in the box. Everything can be done. Moving. Yes, autonomous vehicles and drones. to robots. They can give examples for movement. Understanding emotions, person's facial expression, body language can be captured, and based on that, AI can be done. Play games, that is a very important thing. Learn to play games such as chess, Go, poker, etc. We have a lot of examples. Creating visual art, writing poetry, composing music, taking photographs, AI can do it. Then what else? So AI is already there. It is only a question of time how it can be used in our environment, whether it is a institution or industry. So what is going to happen with AI? So these jobs will go off certainly. Drivers, cashiers, all of ATMs are there like that. Even small ATMs will be coming into the cashier in any very industry. Printers and publishers, printing industry is going to go off. Travel agents today, nobody is going to the travel agent. We are booking through Redbus everywhere, through mobile, through our computers. We are doing it. Manufacturing workers. I was telling about the assembly workers. So assembly work will go off. Dispatches and couriers automatically does. Telemarketing, I need not tell about that. Customer service, everything is done by the AI already. Accounting, it will go off. Receptionist, already most of the receptionists had gone. Proofreading, already Grammarly is there. There are a lot of things are there actually. Security guard work, most of the things are done by the machines. So AI will take care. There is no doubt about that. So, but human touch will be always there. To drive everything, we have to be there. But most of our work will be taken care by the machines. Then next one is RPA. Some of you heard about this robotic process automation. It is not robots, physical robots. These are all software robots. Let me give some examples. Before going to the examples, let me explain robotic process automation. Robotic process automation is a software-based technology which is utilizing the software robots to emulate human execution or a business process. What actually it does is, just a minute. RPA, robotic process automation, it captures data, and with that data, it runs the application and triggers response and communicates with the other system to perform variety of tasks which humans were doing it actually. I will give you some examples to understand more about this. See, if you see this slide, opening an email and attachments, and it can do it automatically. Like what we are doing it. If we are getting about 20 emails today, and it can open the mails, and if there is an attachment, it can take it and put it in a folder, common folder, and log into the website and enterprise applications. For example, today I can give you an example. If you are going for booking a flight ticket, and immediately you are able to see how many seats are available, what is the price, everything you will be able to know. How it is possible? So the other sites are opening those data to the Redbus or whoever it is, and it is sharing the data. So it is logging into the other website and takes the data from the website and put this into the current website actually. And like that, moving the files and folders, routinely somebody is doing that, RPA can do it. Copying, pasting, filling the forms, reading and writing the database, scraping the data from the web, connecting the system APIs, making calculations, extracting structured data from the documents. Like for example, a database is available, let us assume that biodata. So if you scan it and put it in the RPA, it takes all the data from the biodata, name, address, qualification, experience, everything will be putting it, and it puts in a database. So like that, many work can be done through robotic process automation. So RPA can be useful for mainly on the customer service side, finance and accounting, and material management, material handling, quality assurance, sales and distribution, human resources, supply chain management, like that actually. For example, in HR, you can get the applications. For example, you are trying to recruit say about 100 people. Then you can think about the amount of mails what we are getting. at least daily we will be getting about 500 to 1000 mails. So these RPA robots can scan all the mails and it extract the profile and put it in the database. It can be done through RPA. Just I'm giving a small example. So through this advantage is very important one. Scalability and flexibility. You can scale the today if you want to do it, you can do it for 100 people, and tomorrow you can extend it to 1000 people, and it is very accurate because it is a machine. So accurate it is one, and quality is very good, and productivity increases, efficiency increases. Unlike a human, they are not getting tired. So if you put it in the night, whole night it will work. So based on that, you can get lot of advanced analytics and security, and you will get lot of cost saving through adapting RPA. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. I'll give a small example. I was telling about email extraction. If you see without RPA, the big color, what is the time taken, and with the RPA, what is the time taken? Both, if you take without RPA, totally about 45 minutes it is taking for opening a mail, copy paste to sender email address for 70 mails, and analyzing all those things. So if with the RPA, you can finish it within 3 minutes. That's what. So if you if you take, I have done small analysis. So a person can save 112 minutes in a day, and if you calculate the salary, it is coming around 1.3 lakhs per annum. That is a saving in one RPA, a small robo. So previously the person was sending about 120 minutes. Today he can spend only 8 minutes with the application of one small bot, one small robo, RPA. That is the advantage. So that's what. Let me come to the next technology, disruptive technology called 3D printing. All of you might have heard about 3D printing. It is also called as additive manufacturing, additive printing. So 3D printing, it is no more a hype. It is a reality. It is not just making toys. Today, each and every company is making very good 3D printing products for prototyping or even for the regular manufacturing. So this is the setup which can be used for 3D printing. Very big factories or labs are not necessary. Just a camera, a small 3D printing machine, or a computer, that is more than enough to make parts. So any complex parts, any shape can be done through 3D printing. This is the slide I want to make you understand the 3D printing, how useful when the complexity goes up. So 3D printing, the cost is almost flat, whether it is a complex part or a traditional part. But when the complex goes up, traditional cost will go like anything, but whereas 3D printing cost will be flat, almost flat. So that is the important one. So complexity of the manufacturing object goes up means you can go for 3D printing without any rethinking. And volume wise, if you take, that was the design part. This is a manufacturing part. So traditional printing, the cost will come down as the number goes up. Traditional printing, whereas 3D printing is almost flat. So there is a sweet spot available. I can give you an example. One aerospace company, they want to have about 50 components of particular engine part, which is a plastic part actually. They want to do it through 3D printing, and as well as a traditional one. Traditional one, the part is so complex, to make a die and get into production, it may take about 40-45 days. Hello? Yeah, it was 45 days. Whereas through 3D printing, they done it just within 5 days. So they were able to save so much time. Of course, the cost was about 20 times costlier than the regular product. But this sweet spot is unavailable where if the volume is very less and you are heavy, you are on high pressure on the timing, 3D printing is a very important area. We have to look into that. And believe me, 3D printed parts can be used in the assembly as such, like any other regular parts actually. So advantages, if you take about 3D printing, advanced times to market. If somebody is, if two people are trying to do a project, if somebody goes with the 3D printing, they will finish the project in ahead of the other person, so they can come to the market. So that is a time to market advantage is there actually. And there is no tool cost, just computer, just 3D printers. There is no tooling cost. For example, if you take roughly the plastic parts, any complex component will cost around 5 to 10 lakhs for a tooling. So it is nothing actually. And on you can take the production, one component, 5 numbers, 1 number, 50 numbers, you can do it. Next component, you can do many things like that. You can change the component on demand. If you want 39 components, you can take 39 components. Whereas in the regular production, you have to take a batch quantity will be there. So 100 or 500, some batch quantity will be there. But this is very advantage, and it reduces the wastage. Only the required component will be there. Required material alone will be used actually. One customized parts at a time can be done. That is the advantage. And the complexity and the design is available with 3D printing. It is a single step manufacturing. Straight away you can design the part in the computer and you can put it in the 3D machines. And speed wise, as I was telling earlier, instead of 45 days, it can bring it to 5 days. That was printing. The next topic is business intelligence or business analytics. Many of you heard about that. Business intelligence is nothing but a reporting tool. Having data all around us, data is available. There is no dearth of data, but we are drowning in the sea of data, but of decision making insights. The data gives information, and with that information we have to take some decision. So, but we are deprived of decision making. So BI takes care of that. Today, 90% of the world's data was created in the last 2 years. It's called obesity. So every year the data size is growing, whether it is an institution or an industry like us or an individual. All our smartphones, you can see how much backup data we are having. 10 years back, 1 GB is a very big thing, but today 64 GB, 128 GB, it is becoming normal one. Almost every 2 years, our data size is replicating. I want to introduce one word, hippo. What it means? Repo is not by the hippopotamus. It is the highest paid person's opinion. Normally, if any industry or institution, the experienced person will give some opinion, and normally they are the advisors and they will be paid heavily. So this is what, and highest paid person will always give opinion. It need not be the correct one, but as a boss, we will see the results on the long run. So it is not the boss opinion or the highest paid person's opinion or top level person's opinion. The opinion or decision should be made on the data. So decision making should be democratized and it should be based on factual information, not the gut works or guessworks. So turn data into opportunity, important one when we are considering AI. So business intelligence is nothing but it is transforming the raw data into actionable reports and dashboards. If you see the top side, you will be able to see the data, raw data, and the downside if you see, so in terms of percentage, in terms of numbers, in the form of colors and dashboards, you will be able to see all the data about the corporate in a single page. That is called BI. So I am giving a small sharing a dashboard where you can see region wise, product category, country wise, everything can be seen. See, if you see, see this is the plan for actual top 5 opportunity by account product category. Opportunity world map it is given, and platinum, gold, and other opportunity about the customers, platinum customers, gold customers, and other customers. This is like that. Category wise, you can see the data in a totally different manner altogether. With a single page, you can get the crux of the company altogether, whether it is a financial data or a production data or any other quality data, everything can be seen in a single page. This is another page you can see. This also about market promotion, tweets by campaign, net promoter score campaign, and tweets over by sentiments, tweets by hour, net promoter score, tweet by hashtag, something like that. So millions data you can take it, and worldwide how much concentration is there, which country is having more concentration, all those things you can see through the dashboard. But underlying data will be millions and millions of data, but in a single page you can see everything. So advantage with BI is anytime you can see the report, anywhere you can see the report, on any device you can see the same report, like you are seeing on the computer, you can see it on the mobile also. So which path we have to take it? It is very clear. It is not HIPPO, but depend on business intelligence or business analytics to take some decisions. So build a data center company or institution is important one. So next technology what I am going to cover is operation technology. All of us would have heard about IT, that is information technology, but operation technology is normally it is ignored all these days, but technology is invading into the operation areas also, as we were talking about in the last is about 30-35 minutes. Operation technology is nothing but like IT, the OT is associated with the operation side. Information technology, operation technology, this slide will give you the difference. ERP, CRM, supply chain management, HRM, cloud, help desk, these are all IT projects, IT technology. Whereas OT, if you take the controllers, the whole lot of controllers, the sensors, actuators, SCADA, MES, EMS, all these things come under OT. So like IT, we have to consider OT also, operation technology also. If you ignore it, the chances are very, very heavy. Recently, we had seen some mishaps in Hyderabad. You would have heard about the leak, Gujarat gas leakage. So unless you properly control these controllers, sensors, the damage will be very heavy. So operation technology also very important one. So like information technology also should be equally considered, but unfortunately there is a big wall. There is a company CIO is there, Chief Information Officer, but there is no COT, people who are operation technology head. There is no person actually. So we have to consider operation technology also equally like information technology, because lot of sensors, IoT, many things are coming into the operation side. That is important. So there is a great barrier right now available, but the point is we have to consider OT also as important as IT. So with that, we can transform our total plants into smart factories with these kind of technologies. So I thought of sharing this with you. I have come to the end of my presentation. Thank you all for patient listening. If there is any questions, I am willing to take it. Thank you. Dr. NSK, you are on the line. Hello. Hello. Sadish Kumar.
Are you able to hear me? Hello, hello.
Yeah, I'm able to hear you.
Yeah. Sir, we have some questions from the audience. So
Okay.
we thank you for your nice illustrious presentation, sir. And
Okay.
the first question is, what will be the situation of the industry or startup post COVID-19?
Sir,
Uh,
e-certificate.
Post COVID-19, see, right now we are working with about 50-60% capacity. Definitely, industry will come up, except few industries like automotive. Automotive cannot come back easily because of many reasons. Because even COVID is not there, automotive industry would not have come up like earlier, because mainly electric vehicle is on the pipeline. So people will be skeptical whether to go for electric vehicle or the conventional technology. So there is a dilemma. Government has to come up with the some of the decisions like scrapping policy of the old vehicles. All those things are very important one. So barring certain technology, barring certain industries like automotive and related industries like tourism, other things definitely it will go up. And as you know, people were scared. I'm telling particularly in India, people were scared doing business with China. So that is a great advantage. And India definitely it will grow. It will take some more time. But definitely, but I don't know. The COVID, it may go beyond another 6 months. The numbers are increasing. In the peak will be coming only during August, September. So we have to wait for some more time. But post COVID, there are a lot of opportunities for technology companies, because there are a lot of advantages are there. Like the technology, whatever I mean telling, there are a lot of advantages are there.
Yes, sir. The next question is, you have mentioned something OEE in slide number 21.
Eh,
So participants is liking to know what is OEE.
Overall equipment efficiency, it is called. See, for example, I am buying a machine, I'm keeping it. It will not work 24 hours because there are factors are there actually. If the person is not turning up, the machine will be sitting idle. If there is an electricity problem, the machine will be idle. Or if there is a defect in the component, we will be stopping the machine. If the machine is giving some problem, machine will be stopped. So typically, OEE, overall equipment efficiency, if you take, though machine is available 100%, efficiency will be somewhere around 80% or 70%, depending upon the circumstances in which we are working. We normally with the industries, we will be working towards 100%, but never achieve 100% OEE. Maybe somewhere 70, 75, 80. If you achieve 85, that is a great number actually.
Sir, the next question is, how disruptive technologies are changing education?
Yeah, see, the example what we are seeing itself is a very disruptive thing. So we never thought of doing an online presentation like this an year back, even in February or January, we would not have thought about that. The biggest advantage this institute are going to get is through this disruption technology actually. So definitely there are a lot of other technologies also will come up. Educational institutes without taking these technologies cannot grow. That's what I feel. And the advantage is it will ease the work of teachers, and the technology will enable to bring teachers and students to a near closer area. So people will able to gain more. And of course, teachers will be having challenge of adapting these technologies, and institution has to invest in these kind of technologies. So definitely, these kind of technologies will help in the institutions as well, equally like industries.
Thank you, sir. Probably the next question is from a student. He is asking, what are the programming languages that I should make up for AI?
See, there is no typical programming language for AI. Fundamentally, even C, C++ also can be used actually. Only the application is very important one. If you want to any language, one low-level language, if you are able to learn, that is more than enough. So C, C++, in my opinion, C++ is enough to get into the fundamentals. And beyond that, today, lot of applications are there, software packages are there. So you have to get expertise on that actually. As a student, any language like C or similar to that is enough to start with.
Thank you, sir. Next question is there a way to know the disruption is happening in a system? Can you just tell with an example?
It's like that, see, like what we are seeing, this is a disruption. Today, WebEx is there, Zoom is there, Teams, many things are coming. So this is the technology what we are seeing. That is an example. In manufacturing, if you take, suppose if you are getting some component, you can whether it is through 3D printing or through the conventional thing, you can make the difference. I could not understand the question fully, but again, in whatever way I understood, I am answering it actually. So, for example, if you take travel agency, I was giving that example. Sitting in your home, you can book through IRCTC, the railway booking, you can do it, you can cancel it, you can change it, you can do whatever way you want. This is a disruptive technology, which you are not able to do it about 5 years back. So we could understand how the technology was able to help you in doing this. So like that, there are a lot of things are there actually. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Next question, can RPA be applied for space communication?
RPA cannot be applied for space communication because RPA will do mundane work, regular work, repetitive work. For example, if a person is opening a mail and getting a file, and that file is Excel file, and he is putting 100 rows and columns and saving it and pushing back into another mail. So this routine work can be done through RPA. I'll give one more example. Today, there are 2,000 employees there in our organization. We are paying PF to all our employees. To understand the balance available in the PF account, we have to go to the PF server and we have to give a login password. Then we have to enter the employee code. Then we have to get the information. What is the balance available? This can be automated. A bot can sit and it can open the PF server and it can log in, it can give a password and it can give the employee data and it can get the employee balance available and it can put it in a small Excel format. Say maybe that bot will be running for about 2 years, 2 days, and end of 2 day, all the 2,500 employees data will be available in a small Excel file. Otherwise, a person has to sit and he has to do it for at least 10-15 days. We do not know the accuracy also. I don't think it will be possible within 15 days. It may take a month also. Any work which is routine can be done through RPA, but space communication, AI will help you in space communication. AI will do those kind of work.
Next question, sir. Material for 3D printing, can I use a polymer or alloy or both?
Both can. Today, the technology and grown, you can use not only polymer, different kind of polymers. There are polymers not like ABS, nylon. There are polymers which is almost density is very heavy. It is strength is like a metal. Those polymers also can be used. Today, you can use aluminum also for 3D printing. It is possible. Alloy also it can be done.
So next question, can medical implants be prepared using 3D printing?
Of course, that is where it is very helpful, because medical implants it is very costly, and you may need in only less numbers. So it is a great area. Definitely, it can be done. So a small, it is very easy with a small computer and a 3D printing machine. You can become an entrepreneur to make parts. If company like Roots, we may be asking for some parts. So you can become a subcontractor for Roots by having only 3D printing and one machine. Just I'm giving a small rough example. I'm telling, it is possible.
There are many questions, but I thought the important questions has been summarized, and
Okay.
from the chat box I could see there is lots of applauses and things coming out for your wonderful lecture, sir. And we are
It's my
thankful
pleasure.
to you. Yeah, we are thankful to you for this wonderful session in this evening. And
Okay.
we are very sure that the lecture is very informative to the teaching and students community. The takeaway for this lecture is your real-time modeling and implementation of IoT in die casting. The artificial intelligence, of course, is going to eliminate jobs, and RPA is going to be the software robots, and the technology of 3D printing, business intelligence, and operation technology. So on behalf of the organizing committee, I thank Dr. OAB sir for sparing his valuable suggestions and informative lecture, and moreover valuable time. So I know that sir is busy throughout the day, and in spite of busy schedule, you have accepted our request. Thank you, sir. Thank you for wonderful presentation, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Sadish Kumar. I have to thank you because you gave the opportunity to interact with the student community as well as the teaching community. I am happy that almost more than 120 participants were there at one time. And I have to thank you personally. And I want to thank Dr. Alamir Madam also. She is one of my good friends. And I am the board of study member in Ramashna. So I have a commitment to do this kind of lectures or
Very
sessions
kind
to
of you,
you,
sir. Very kind of you.
giving the
Thank
chance.
you,
Thank you
sir.
for opportunity.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
thank you.
Take care, sir.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Thank
See
you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Let us in another summer form
Definitely,
with
sir.
a different
Definitely,
topic altogether. Thank you so much.
definitely, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Sir, the participants, we will meet tomorrow the same time, 5 to 6, with a different resource person. Thank you.
Sorry.
Bye.
Uh, hello. Hello, Senthil Kumar.
I'm here.
Yeah. Convey my regards to your principal, Dr. Alamelu.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, sir.
Okay, thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Senthil Kumar.
Bye, sir.
Sadish Kumar, sorry. Sadish.
Sadish Kumar.
Sadish.
Yeah, no issues. No issues. Thank you, sir. So I would like to thank all the participants for joining. I would also like to thank Harihara Gopalan, who has been behind the success of this day one of the webinar series. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
என்ன தயக்காரர் சொல்றாரு?
கம்மியாயிடுச்சு. டெய்லி 1.5 வாங்குறதுல 2.5 லிட்டர் கம்மியாயிடுச்சு நேத்து. இன்னைக்கு 1.5 தான் வாங்கியிருக்கேன். என்னங்கிறாரு, இன்னைக்கு சேர்த்து தான் 2.5ங்கிறாரு.
புரியல, நீ என்ன சொல்ற? என்னன்னே டாபிக்கே எனக்கு புரியல. சொல்லு. இப்ப ஒரு பணம் கேக்குறாரா என்னது? சொல்லு, எனக்கு புரியுது.
எனக்கு தப்பா சொல்றாரு 1/2 லிட்டர்.
இப்ப என்ன பணம் நம்ம அவர் குடுக்கணுமா?
தப்பா சொல்றாரு கணக்குங்கிறா.
தப்பா சொல்றேன்னா புடுங்குறாரா? வீட்டுக்குள்ள சண்டை போடுறாரா? என்ன கேக்குற? என்ன சொல்ற?
நான் வந்து கெஞ்சு கூத்தாடி இங்கே பழையபடி தள்ளியிருக்கேன். அவனுக்கு ஒரு செல்ஃப் தரேன் கொஞ்சம் ஓரத்துல அதனால
இருக்கு செல்ஃப்.
கீழ் செல்ஃப் ஃபுல்லா கேஜெட்ஸ் கிளியர் பண்ண
என்ன எதுக்கு ஹால்ல தள்ளுற?
நீ வந்து ஹால் போய்
என்னால இருக்க முடியாது, நான் பெட்ரூம்ல தான் உட்கார்ந்திருப்பேன்.
நான் மதியமா அடி வெளிய பார்த்து விட்டுருவேன்.
ஹால்ல உடனே தொந்தரவா இருக்குமா? அங்கேயும் இங்கேயும் இங்க இருந்து ஒருத்தவங்க சாப்பிடுவாங்க, அப்புறம் அங்க வந்து இந்த ஆட்டோ
பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. உட்காந்து படி. வெளிய எதுக்கு நானும் போறேன். அவன் டிவி போட்டானா தப்பு, யாராவது பேசினா தப்பு.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Just the feedback will be
Happening here.
Hello,
Still on.
sir. Feedback link.
Where is the feedback link?
Sorry.
I'm not getting the feedback link.
Okay, you have shared in the chat box or you are sharing on the email, sir. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, কি খবর কি? জানি তোমার তো একজন বন্ধ থাকে। আরে তুমি ব্যারাকপুরে খবর কি? ব্যারাকপুরে কি ব্যারাকপুর খবর কি? ও ম্যাম, স্টেশনটাই ফাঁকা। মাস করে ঘোরার আছে। তোকে বাড়িতে কিছু খাবো। আমি আজকে দেখবো। হ্যাঁ, একবার দেখেছি আগে, দেখে নিয়ে কালকে বা পরশু এখন শেষ। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, একদম একদম।
Hello.